Creative Friends. This is Joy. So I had a lot of this scrap cardboard left over from other projects that I decided to try to do something with it. And this particular piece of scrap cardboard was peeling, and I thought, well, maybe I can just peel the rest of this layer off and use it in some kind of mixed media work or what have you. It's always, and it's thinner corrugated cardboard. It's not the thick corrugated cardboard, if I can say that three times fast. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it would be great for using in any kind of a mixed media work, and that way it doesn't add so much bulk. And then I have these other pieces that I'm like, what am I going to do with this stuff? So the one idea that came to mind is I thought, oh, this actually could make some great tags. So I decided that I would do that, make some tags out of some of this. And here I'm just trying to clean up and straighten up the edges of the cardboard and, figure out like what size and shape that I want to make, these tags. And here I thought, oh, that'd make a nice big tag. So I cut off the corner and then used it to cut the other corner so that they matched. And then I went and got my crocodile punch so I could punch a hole in these. And the little one, oh, and I'm rounding the corner as well. The little one, I decided just to round all four corners and punch a hole in the top. So I went through and made a whole bunch of tags, and here's some of them that I made. And I decided that for these three, I'm going to paint them. And so I just got some white paint and a little bit of this brown paint, but it's kind of a reddish brown. And so I painted that on one, and I thought, I don't know. And then I thought, well, maybe if I do like a light blue color, maybe I'd like that better. So I got this blue out in the white and mixed up, a light blue here and painted one of the other tags with the light blue. And things were moving around, so I had to get a awl and use that to hold it down instead of my fingers, so I didn't get my fingers all in it. And then just decided that I kind of like the brown. I guess I'm going to go with the brown after all, or the tan, or whatever color you want to call it. So on these, I figured I'm going to need at least two coats. So I put two coats on one side, and then here's the other side. And you can see this is pieces left over from a cereal box. And so I decided to paint the other side with the same colors as I did the one side. And of course, again, this is going to require two coats because one coat isn't enough to cover to where you don't see what's inside. So of course, me being impatient in between these coats, I'm trying to somewhat dry them enough so that I can put a second coat on them, and then at the end, drying them completely so that I can try to decorate them and get them, finished up. So I have a journal that I'm currently working on. I created the journal in itself, and these are some scrap pieces from the making the cover that I thought, if I'm going to use these tags in this journal, then it'd probably be good to use some of these scrap pieces on the tags, and that way it kind of matches, what's on the cover. So that's what I'm doing here, just trying to figure out, do I want to use these or do I want to use something else? And so I have a bunch of printables that I had in my folder, and I've been collecting for years from different places. And some of them I know where they came from, but some of them I'm not sure. Like some of them I know I got from the Paper Outpost because she sends a regular newsletter with free printables. So some of the printables I'm going to try to use in this journal came from her, and some of them came from 49 Dragonflies. And I'm not sure where some of these others, because I've just had them forever. And since my journal's going to be about like a floral journal in spring and all of that, I figured birds and butterflies would all kind of, be a good theme for the journal. So, and of course, anything floral. So that's where I tried to print out a bunch of floral printables and pictures of butterflies and birds. So here I'm grabbing this other scraps that I have in these little bins from other previous projects and trying to see, is there anything in here that I can use on these to kind of add a little bit more interest to these tags. And I found a couple of scraps in the bin here that I thought would kind of go and, be interesting on these tags. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I just use a glue stick to glue all of this down to the tags. And so, yeah, I decided that to go ahead and go with these scraps that came from this journal, because I wasn't even sure whether I wanted to use these tags in the journal or not, but I do want tags to put in the journal, so what the heck, I might as well just go ahead and make these to go in the journal, and that way, I can use them for this particular journal, and so that would be good. So here I'm just using the glue stick, like I said, and just gluing down all the pieces that I decided to decorate these tags with. I'm trying to straighten out that one, and then gluing down the butterflies, the one for the butterflies. So yeah, like I said, I love making journals, and I don't know why I keep making them. Well, because they're so much fun to make. And I have quite a few that I've made, and here I am. I've made another one. And so far, I just had like a box from a shipment from Amazon. It was like, I think books or something was in it. So it was a perfect, configuration or size or whatever for a journal. And then I used some other printables that I had and some scrapbook paper and some pages from the Stampington magazine just for the pages inside the journal. And just right now I just have the base journal itself, like I said, with the cover and the pages inside of it. And I want to go through and start filling it up with pictures and tags and tucks and those kinds of things. I'm debating about doing a flip through when I'm done, because I don't know, people really want to see that. If you're interested in seeing a flip through, definitely let me know in the comments. I don't know if, I mean, I enjoy seeing them, so I may do a flip through. I'm debating on whether I wanted to record any of the putting the, filling the journal up or not. I don't know if people are interested in that. We'll see. But anyway, I thought maybe people might be interested in using some of their scraps to make tags. So that's what I'm doing here. And I figure it's just as well that I make these to go in this journal. And as you saw me there a minute ago, I used a little bit of inking around the edges, and here's some fibers. I go to a monthly scrapbooking group, and occasionally they allow us to bring in, stuff for sale and have like a little, craft sale or whatever. And I've got these from someone there for like 25 cents. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can use these. I don't get how people have this stuff and they don't use it. It's like, yes, I have plenty of things I can do with this kind of stuff. So yeah, and this ball of twine as well. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I have, I either got it like through the craft sale or, on sale at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or whatever. And you can fill up a craft room quick when you get stuff so inexpensively. So here I'm trying to put the little antennas on there, but my pen is not working. I don't know what I do with it. I probably got some glue on it. Lord knows you can ruin a good pen with being impatient, and I tend to be impatient. So I got a different pen, and then I'm going to go around the butterflies with a Stabilo to help them stand out a little bit more. That's what I'm doing here, just using a Stabilo pencil. And then I take a little tiny paintbrush, if I can find one. I know I've got one in there. I've got a whole big old thing full of paintbrushes. And sometimes the little ones like to hide behind all the big ones. So I get a little paintbrush and then activate the Stabilo with a little bit of water, a drop of water, to finish off this tag. I really thought this turned out cute. Actually, I thought they all turned out cute. I really like the way they turned out. But yeah, the lady that coordinates the monthly scrapbooking, she gets stuff that's also donated to her all the time, because everything that she sells, and you know, and here I'm just going around with the gold pen on that one. Everything she sells, and plus what we pay for scrapbooking, all gets donated to breast cancer, because she's a breast cancer survivor, and so are some of the other ladies. And here I'm looking for some pattern paper and some fabric to put on these other ones. And that pattern paper is actually origami paper, which is great because it's so thin, but you know, they're so colorful as well. But I want to cover the backs of these tags with something, and so I decided to just get some white copy paper and just glue that to the back of the tags. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to glue some white copy paper to the back of the tags, and then I will cut around it for the shape, and then glue on the pattern paper and the material. So I just decided I want to do two of these with pattern paper and one of them with material. But yeah, the lady, she gets stuff donated to her all the time, so she always is bringing stuff in for sale as well, super cheap. And a lot of stuff here recently, especially, I guess several people have had family members that have passed away and left like a whole craft room full of stuff. And they ended up, you know, just telling her, look, you just come get it and you can have it all. And she ended up was telling us that she had like 10 truckloads and several trailer loads full of craft supplies from several different people who, you know, like I said, they recently passed away and left all of this stuff. I mean, just like pounds and pounds of paper and embellishments and, you know, all kinds of craft supplies you never even use, still, you know, in the package, you know, and it's kind of sad to think that happens, but it surely does. And I know I got a crap room, a scrap room full of craft supplies that I need to use up, because I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want to all of a sudden one day end up on my deathbed going, man, I should have done more crafting. I don't know. Here I just used a glue stick to glue the paper down, but then I realized that's probably not good enough for the material. So I got some Fabrifix to glue the material down, because I figured that's going to probably be better than just a glue stick. So that's what I'm doing here, is just putting Fabrifix on that to glue that fabric down. And so while that is drying, I cut around the cut the paper off from around the tags. But yeah, so I have actually been able to do a lot more here lately, only because I am currently unemployed. I got laid off in March, and I've been looking, not having much luck. But in the meantime, even though I'm looking every day, I'm still making time to do stuff in my scrap room. So I've been having fun doing lots of things in the scrap room and getting a lot of things done that I've been wanting to do now that I have more time to do it. But I really do need to also get back to work as soon as possible. So hopefully something will come through soon. So here I'm punching the holes in these. And I could have waited till after, I guess, I covered both sides and then punched the hole instead of punching it after I cut the tag out and then punching it once I put on the one piece of paper and then punched again the other piece of paper. That probably would have made more sense, but I didn't know what I was going to do with these at the time that I made the tags. And again, I'm going to go around the edges of this with an ink pad, some distressed ink. I believe this is a walnut, the walnut stain distressed ink. And with these, I'm like trying to decide what I'm going to do with those. Only that one piece seems to kind of go. The others didn't really seem to go. So again, I grabbed my baskets full of scraps and trying to go through and figure out, what can I do with these and put on these tags. And I do find a few pieces of scrap that I think will work well. That one little piece on the blue tag is just a piece of book page, and then I found like a light piece of scrap paper, and then another darker piece of dark blue. So I decided I like that. And then on the yellow one, I found a scrap. It was actually left over from a magazine image or whatever that I thought would make a good scrap. And it looks like it would work on that tag. So here I decided I'm going to try to put a bird on these. And again, these are from some free printables that I got years ago. I don't even remember where I got them from. So I'm quickly cutting them out so I could put those on these tags. And that's what I'm doing here. So yeah, I'm not too keen on fussy cutting. Matter of fact, I'm not very good at it either. So it's helpful to be able to ink around the edges so that you cover up any of the white parts of the paper that you may have missed. It's like I'm always afraid of cutting too much off or not cutting enough. I don't know. It's just not fun fussy cutting, but I felt like that these birds would probably, look better if I fussy cutted them. So that's what I did. And I inked them a little bit around the edges where you wouldn't be able to see the white of the paper. So I'm trying to decide which bird I want where and how I want these scrap pieces of paper on here. And yeah, I like what I have to go on each. I just don't like the arrangement. So I'm kind of moving it around, see, okay, which one do I prefer better? And I decided I kind of like the scraps in the front more than the back. So that's what I'm decided to do, is glue these scraps down. Again, just using a glue stick, and I use this Yoo-Hoo, is that how you say it? U-H-U, I think is how it's spelled. Glue stick to glue these down, and it seems to work pretty good for me. I've not had any issues with these glue sticks, although it took me a while to find a glue stick that actually worked and was permanent. When I was, first gluing things, I would use just regular glue, but I'm a messy crafter. I end up with paint and glue all over me. And so I'm happy to say that I finally found a glue that actually works good, but I still end up with glue all over me. So yeah, so there I just trimmed off the excess and then inked those edges a little bit. And then again, I'm going around the bird with my Stabilo pencil and using the paintbrush with just a little bit of water to go around and activate that Stabilo to kind of help the bird stand out a little bit better. So that's what I'm doing here, is doing that to, you know, finish these off. And I got a little bit too much around his beak, so I had to kind of fix that. And I did the same with the other bird, just went around it with the Stabilo. And I don't know, I guess I probably could have, on that blue one, that probably would look cute if I did like some faux stitching around the edges. I didn't think about that, but now I'm looking at it. May go back and do that to that one and maybe some of the others. I don't know. We'll see. But that is an option. Not something I've done very often. Maybe that's why I didn't really think about it. But now that I'm looking at it and thinking, you know, it seems like it could use something else, but that might be the ticket to do a little bit of faux stitching around these. But I'm not good at that either because I can never get the line straight or the dashes even remotely consistently the same length or distance apart. So that's probably why I don't do that very often. So I trimmed around this, the fabric one. I inked around it. And I'm pretty much decided, I guess I'm just going to leave this as is because it's pretty busy as it is. I don't know what else to do with this one. I may do something more with it later. I don't know, like add a word or something. But for now, I feel like it's, you know, pretty busy enough as it is. So I kind of leave it. And then I figure out like what, you know, looks best for each of these. And then put the strings on each of these. And I like to double and triple up on it because, I don't know, I just think it looks a little better to when it's like doubled up or tripled up. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the tags that I made. And I also made a little mini journal out of some of the scraps, which you'll see that in my next video, the little mini journal that I created out of some of the scraps that I have here. And so yeah, if you like this video, I'd appreciate if you could give me a thumbs up. It's always helpful to know what videos people like. And you can always subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're a new subscriber. And you can definitely leave me a comment. I'm always enjoy hearing from people. So yeah, I decided to, on that fabric bird one, to just use this green. I don't think I have any red. I probably could have found red. I don't know. I was just being lazy, I guess. And I'm like, yep, this is good enough. So there you go. Little green. It looks kind of Christmassy, I guess, but that's fine. So yeah, here's all the tags I made today. So I appreciate you stopping by and watching my video, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.